know, of 50 million students in public schools, 41 million of those students do not have access to dance education. Before I start off this presentation, I would like to give credit where it is due. So I have used these sources: Club Express, ABC Local, NDEO, Handbook, the Free Library, Charon, Cast.cs, and Quote Garden. Hi, my name is Erica Salazar, and today I'm going to be sharing with you information about the National Dance Education Organization. We will be focusing on their strategies, current initiatives, and student programs. Throughout this presentation, you will see how the NDEO focuses on dance education. And a good example of how dance can impact a child's life is Edward Whalen. At the age of 3, Edward was diagnosed with autism and a severe social skill impairment. Autism is believed that you have a gap between the left and right sides of your brain. So what do you do when you dance? You listen to the music and you learn the steps, and that becomes a dance. And to do this, you need to be able to fully use both sides of your brain. So through dance therapy, Edward was able to fuse that gap, which his mother said not only was he able to learn to dance, his social skills drastically improved. To get you a little bit more comfortable and familiar with the NDEO, I'm going to start off with their history. They were established in 1998, and they're head by the dance and arts community. Their head location is in Washington, D.C. Their membership structure consists of a board of directors and 16 state organizations. The NDEO strategies consist of research for dance, standards for dance, which is divided into 3 age groups: early childhood, ages 0 through 5, learning and teaching in dance and arts, ages 5 through 18, and professional teaching, which is masters. And last but not least, dance certification. It used to be that all dance literature and research was grouped together with sports and physical education. The executive director of NDEO stated that all the information was out there, they just didn't know where to find it. So the NDEO created the Dance Education Literature and Research Descriptive Index, which holds over 4,900 documents from 1926 till today. And 20% of schools nowadays offer dance education, and of that 20%, only 7% are taught by qualified teachers. So to increase the number of qualified teachers, NDEO offers online professional development institute, which goal is to help K through 12 educators get certified. In Plato's Laws, he states that a good education consists of knowing how to sing and dance well. The NDEO's current initiatives reinstate this quote. Currently, right now, Congress is looking at the Elementary and Secondary Education Act. This act dictates what is taught in today's curriculum. So the NDEO is trying to emphasize how important it is to include dance education to Congress in the Obama administration. Arts Advocacy Day is another initiative that the NDEO currently co-sponsors. The Arts Advocacy Day is a day held in Washington where advocates and organizations come to ask Congress to support funding and for the arts. Now, if the NDEO wasn't busy enough with this, they also helped develop the Partnership for the 21st Century, which is basically a document stating that today in the 21st century, it is not enough for kids just to be able to excel in math, science, and literature. You have to be able to do arts. Research shows students who study dance score an average of 36 and 15% higher on verbal and math SATs. Here's the graph from 2001 showing the verbal and math scores from the SATs, comparing students who did do dance here and students who did not do dance here and students who did do dance here. So to help these students who want to study dance, the NDEO offers internships, student chapters, student forums, and scholarships. Now, student internships are usually full-time, 35 to 40 hours, and they are made to meet the specific goals of its students, whether you want to do dance research, dance performance. Student chapters are specifically for the students who are interested in dance and dance education. An example of what the student chapters do is the University of South Carolina held a free jazz dance workshop in April 2011. There are 3 scholarships provided for students who will go to the national convention, and Student Forums is kind of like Facebook. It's there for the students to be able to communicate with each other, whether they have questions about research papers, dance, colleges, or just want to chat. Dancing in all its forms cannot be excluded from the curriculum of Noble Education. Dancing with the feet, with ideas, with words, and need I add that one must be able to dance with the pen. Friedrich Nietzsche said this, and it supports how dance education needs to be in today's curriculum. So now I have shared with you all this information about the NDEO, their strategies, their current initiatives, and their student programs. 88% of Americans believe that the so-called basics in education alone are not adequate for the 21st century workforce without the ability to be imaginative, creative, and innovative. And lastly, I would like to leave you with this video by our current Secretary of State, Hillary Clinton, supporting the NDEO.
Hello, I'm Senator Hillary Rodham Clinton, and I want to congratulate the work of the National Dance Education Organization and share with you my thoughts on the importance of dance education. You know, the National Dance Education Organization has a real vision of the power of dance in our children's education, and I could not agree more. Today in the United States, businesses are continually asking for more creative thinkers for our 21st century economy. By creative thinkers, I mean workers who have an ability to speak clearly, to listen closely, workers who engage in the learning process, who solve problems, as well as those who value individual responsibility and integrity. You know, more often than not, these types of workers were exposed to the arts when they were students. Just take a look at a recent study which found that students who study the arts are more likely to outperform their peers academically. For example, in a recent study on SAT scores, students who studied dance scored an average 36 points higher on the verbal and 15 points higher on math. Unfortunately, President Bush's No Child Left Behind legislation makes it so much harder for schools to offer dance and other arts education programs. You know, this No Child Left Behind places a strain on schools and forces many to focus just on math and English. You know, those are the 2 subjects that require testing under the legislation, but so often they're influenced by the other interests and the discipline that children obtain through the arts. So the National Dance Education Organization is the collective voice for dance education, and you're working hard to help states increase the availability and quality of dance instruction. I applaud the work that you do. With your help, our children can become not only the brightest and most creative that they possibly can be, but the kind of future leaders that our nation.
Thank you.